Here I am Janvi with my team members Palak, editor and digital presenter, and Anayat, scriptwriter, going to conduct an interview of our English professor Dr. Sukriti. So ma'am, shall we start?
Sure.
Okay ma'am, my first question to you is why did you choose this subject?
We got to speaking earlier, Janvi, and I said that this is something of a passion of mine. The subject just sort of chose me because I've been an avid reader since I was a child, and there's a bit of reading culture at home also. There are a bunch of storytellers, and the atmosphere of the house has been such that it was pretty easy to decide by the time I reached my graduation that this is the field I am going to explore. And then probably the influence of my teachers also, because I've had some very good teachers during my college years. So that also persuaded me that this is a career that I can pursue.
Ma'am, for you, which significance English literature holds?
It's not just English literature, it's literature in general, because the world has changed a lot. We are a global village now, it's become an old saying. So literature in general, doesn't matter which language it is. It does have a significance because sometimes, to me, it reminds us of our human values, and probably it connects us emotionally. So it doesn't matter if you are a woman in Ireland who is talking about the death of her children, who go out at sea and brave the harsh weather, or if you are a woman who is the mother of a fisherman in Assam and then you're singing about the death of your son. So it's the same pain everywhere. And I think literature connects humanity beautifully and it reminds us to be human.
Okay ma'am. Ma'am, personally, which literature work is close to your heart?
That is a very difficult question. Most people have phases so I've gone through them. I've had a very big Margaret Atwood phase. I'm a real big fan of hers because I think she can talk about the past. She can take examples from our great epics, the Western great epics actually, and she can be very futuristic also. So I enjoy her works of science fiction, and I think she has a very great hold on where the world is going in that regard. And then there are so many other writers. For comfort, I read Jane Austen. Sometimes I read Agatha Christie. My childhood was all about Roald Dahl, and even J.K. Rowling was a big deal then. And Tolkien, I really admire the way he writes. Right, so there are so many writers. It's very difficult to pick one. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So you think the enlightenment of literature still impacts the world?
The thing is, literature is not divorced from the world. Literature includes history because even if it's historical fiction or an historical account, that's also a part of literature. Literature includes psychology. Literature is about philosophy, our philosophy, the philosophies of the rest of the world. So I think what your question was about how literature connects to the rest of the world, and literature is there's this old saying that literature is a mirror to the society. I think that is still true, and literature is connected to all other subjects also. We don't live in isolation, like a poet said, no man is an island. So literary field is also not an island in itself. Like he went on to say, ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. So we're all connected that way. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I would like to conclude this interview by this last question, which I really want to know. Ma'am, which is your favorite literary work, literary personality?
I told you already, I cannot decide. It's very difficult to and I don't go by literary personalities. I just focus on the work. See, different people have different approaches. I would probably not know a lot about the author. I prefer not to know a lot about the writer. I would rather prefer to know what they're saying and what their work is like. So there is no one particular answer to this question. Like currently I'm reading Orhan Pamuk. Before that I was reading Doana Tar because somebody had recommended the book. There is so much to be read, right? So how can you choose one? Even from our own Indian canon, there is so much to be read. It's very difficult to decide.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving this interview. This means a lot.